Good morning and happy Fitness Friday. I'm excited about today's live stream and hopefully you guys are as well. We're going to make some money and then we're going to talk about living to be 150 years old. So if you like that, if you think that you have the chance of living in 3 centuries, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell because we are live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or as close to 9 a.m. as I can possibly get it to. How's everyone doing? Is everyone excited for Fitness Friday? Has everyone caught up on their sleep throughout the week? Probably not. That's usually what people use the weekends for. I didn't mean to cycle that. I meant to turn it down a little bit so that I could stop reflecting light off of my oily forehead, but Bitcoin is holding up. Bitcoin literally cannot be killed. This thing just continues to truck along. This thing has been riding this support line that we drew back in October, right? When we obviously saw that Bitcoin was just slowly climbing up and up and up and up and up. We drew out this support line. That was when we first got above it. It was 74 days ago. And so we got a little bit overextended when we had that rally due to the ETF potentially getting included into everyone's like portfolio allocations. What I mean by that is like their estimates for how high everything could go. When the ETF looked like it was more and more approved, we continued to climb further and further away from this trend line. Now we've kind of come back, settled out for a little bit. Really, if you zoom in, we've just gone sideways since the start of December. So for the last month, we've just kind of been trending sideways. We had a little bit of a pump fake a couple days ago, and then a huge bearish engulfing candle. You see this one right here. This candle was massively bearish, and it was so bearish that it happened in about it happened in like 2 hours. Bitcoin crashed all the way down 15%, which is very dramatic. Usually you don't see that type of price action until we are, all right, 11%, depends on what market you're in. Usually that type of price action is indicative of 2 things. 1, it's a topping signal, it's a topping formation, or 2, it's blatant market manipulation. So if they know that there's going to be the opportunity to grab a lot of liquidity down below, they will send the price down. Usually, if it's going to be natural, it's happening because of a topping formation. So it just depends on what camp you're in, you know? Well, let's go. Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, Dream. Good morning, MK. How's it going, Matthew? I hope everyone's excited. I hope everyone's got their cup of coffee or are at the gym, wherever you're watching this from. I appreciate you guys. I want to just point out the fact that this candle, despite Bitcoin being down just a little bit today, it has rebounded pretty much right back to where it was at the start of the day. So we had a little bit of a crash early last night, or I guess like late in the night last night, depending on what time zone you're in. We had a pretty volatile moment right there where we immediately fell. Let me take a sip of coffee. We fell 3.5% in the span of like 5 minutes, but then we immediately rebounded and came all the way back up. So that V-shaped recovery, which gives praise to the idea that you should just buy every single dip that happens during a bull market, if that's the camp you want to be in. So far today, we've just been riding on top of the middle VWAP. So this is actually a pretty good day to be trading. So I'm a little excited to see if we can come down, test this VWAP, enter the trade, come up, and probably take profits at the highs of this previous zone here. I'm going to draw a little line here so you guys see what I'm seeing. Take profits probably a little bit below that because it looks like they've been coming down further and further. This would come out to be a 0.7% profitable trade, which I am happy with. I am definitely happy with that. I don't have the liquidity opened up, but I do have the live stream. Damn. Why are you so behind the opened up? Shh. 2 likes, 6 watching. This is a shameful ratio, guys. This is a shameful ratio. Let me duplicate and go to MK, his live stream, so that I can see where the liquidity is for Bitcoin. Or K1M, not MK. Live. Bitcoin liquidity. Damn it, I hate when it looks like this. I really do. because it's difficult to see. At the top here, we're looking at this liquidity zone. Again, Bitcoin's that dotted green line. It's smack dab in the middle. So it really could go either way right now. You kind of have to operate under the assumption that the direction it's moving immediately is the direction it's going to continue to move for a little bit. So while it's coming down, we're probably going to continue to come down, at least until we start getting some of this liquidity. 43,300 and above. I don't think we'll come all the way down to here, but that's where the liquidity starts to dry up. So we come, grab a little bit of it, bounce off the VWAP hopefully, and we can enter a trade and make some money. Now, I want to go through, while we skim through all the altcoins that we have on this watch list, I want to talk about why Fitness Friday is such an important day. All right? If I can move my chair, there we go. Let's address the elephant in the room, guys. Why am I in a tank top? I'm blinding you guys with these gains. My cats are having a little cat brawl outside the door. And I think Bird is actually in pain because both of his ears are tucked completely behind his back. And he's backed up in a corner like a little defenseless animal. Oh, there goes Floop. Fitness Friday. Fitness Friday is an important day because we're out here on a mission to accumulate as much wealth as possible, showing off your traps, basically. We're out here trying to accumulate as much wealth as possible, right? What is the point of collecting any of this if we're not going to be around to use it? You know, you have the end of this game that we are forced into playing, this financial game that they made up and we have to play in order to survive, in order to thrive, is to use the money that we've accumulated, right? That's why we take profits. Look at, I took profits. I have a brand new phone, literally a brand new phone, iPhone 14. This is my old phone. The 11 I've been using for the last several years. 11, 14, right? I took profits because none of it's real, none of it matters until you take some profits, until you do something with it. And if we're planning on making an egregious amount of money through crypto, you need to make sure that one, you take the profits, but two, you're gonna live long enough to actually use the profits. Okay? It's important that you actually are able to use some of the money that you gain from. You can retire early, cool, but if all of your money is just a number on a bank account, you never actually get to use it, and you perish before you actually get to use it because you didn't take care of yourself, that is the ultimate rug pull. The ultimate rug pull. Smash that likes button. Let's go, Steve. Hey, David, happy to see you here. Should've gotten that Samsung, bro. That's an L. No, F Samsung. If I was gonna get a Samsung, I would have gotten the Solana phone. I would have just gotten the Solana phone. So while looking at these altcoins though, a lot of these altcoins are below the VWAP, so they're kind of bleeding against Bitcoin right now. I'm curious to see if Bitcoin dominance is up. All right, my phone is glitching out over here. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance is just roaring alive today. So it's kind of having another wind. Maybe we form a head and shoulders here, where it goes scoop, scoop, and then a little shoulder. That was a terrible way of drawing it. Terrible way of drawing it. We got boom, boom. Why is my mouse is so like shaky right now? Let's turn the sensitivity down. All right. Maybe we form a head and shoulders and then continue to like sell off a little bit into the bull market, but I don't think we do. I think that we might see another rally, especially as the ETF gets closer and closer. We've been in a very, very macro level bear trend, right? I forgot I drew so much on the Bitcoin dominance chart, but each one of these vertical lines is the halving. And so we're rapidly approaching the next halving, and you'll notice around the time of the halving, Bitcoin comes and retests this trend line where it's been getting rejected from, you know? So I think that we'll probably come up and retest it shortly after the halving, but that means that we just kind of like bounce around for a little bit longer. Maybe we come up and break through a little bit because this bull market is being driven entirely off of the idea of the Bitcoin ETF. And so if Bitcoin ETF means the money flows into Bitcoin, fundamentally speaking, the dominance of Bitcoin is going to have some sort of a rally. So it'd be very, very interesting to see if we came all the way back up to that 69% dominance. That would be an insane rally. That would give win to things like Stacks and Alex V2 and Ordies and Ghostly, all these things that we've talked about in the Discord and on these live streams that pertain exclusively to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's entire ecosystem, right? That's going to go crazy this bull market. That's going to go crazy. Your iPhone is glitching and it's brand new. No. My old iPhone, the one that I dropped in a bowl of chili and the toilet and my bath, that one's glitching. The new iPhone is beautiful. You stinking Android, you robots. Look at you guys are literal androids. But not you guys are like Android 14s. Damn it. I was hoping that there'd be a cool Android 14. Yeah, this is you guys. Android 14. Not even the cool ones. You guys aren't even the cool androids. You guys are this dude. Alright, what's like the Android 1 from Dragon Ball? Is there one? I'm sure some FanDuel stuff. Yeah. This is you guys. Alright? You damn androids. You guys aren't even one of the cool androids. You're that dude. iPhone users unite. No, the blue one. Lame. iPhone, I will never surrender. Let's go, Matthew, let's go. Meanwhile, everyone is watching from a Samsung. Oh, God. No, I don't even know Samsung made phones. Oh, the foldable one. I'll give you guys credit. The foldable one is novel. If you guys have the foldable one, I'll give you credit. That's pretty novel. It's probably pretty bad, though. I know the screen looks funky at that fold. But you guys should get the Solana phone. This thing, you know Bonk? You know how Bonk has been going crazy? Initially, when Bonk first launched, they made an agreement with the Solana phone that they would give the people who bought it X amount of Bonk. And at the time, it was worth like literally nothing because they launched it at 0, right? But now, because Bonk went to a $2 billion market cap, the amount of Bonk that came preloaded on your Solana wallet on the Solana phone was worth more than the phone was. How wild is that? So people flooded and bought a ton of these phones because it was an arbitrage situation. But now you go to eBay and like the cheapest Solana phone that you can see is $1,900 when I think it was like $700 from Solana's team, right? So people are speculating like crazy on these things, which makes sense because even the grass extension that I have, that's going to airdrop on Solana. And so the Solana phone is able to get a lot of these airdrops prior to most of the other things. So like this Solana phone, the reason people are willing to pay $5 grand, $7 grand, $6 grand for it, or even maybe just $3 grand, is because of the idea that you're going to get a lot of airdrops from it, you know? You're going to get a lot of airdrops from it. We're looking for Bitcoin to bounce off that VWAP. We kind of are bouncing off of it. Let's see where we go. I think we might be able to come back down and grab that entry point closer to the VWAP. That's wild. Right, David? Right? It's a little arbitrage situation. Sounds like a security. The phone is a security. Can you imagine? What is Grass? Well, I'm happy you asked this, Matthew. I'm happy you asked this. Grass, where am I clicking? Grass is a future airdrop opportunity. Let me go to my video on it. If you're curious about it, come watch this video. It explains what DePIN is, okay? DePIN being decentralized physical infrastructure. It's a new narrative in crypto. Not really new, but it's new in the terms that we haven't had a word for it. You can think helium. Helium last cycle was part of DePIN, but it was before DePIN was a narrative. Just like DeSci or DeFi or DeSo, all these Ds are coming up this cycle. DePIN is decentralized physical infrastructure, where you take something such as a car, and everyone has a car, so the cars are decentralized across the United States. And if you launch something called Uber, you can utilize this decentralized physical infrastructure to make money, right? Uber makes money off of other people's cars. That's like the first DePIN that was out there. Actually, Airbnb was the first DePIN, and that's thanks to someone in the Discord called that out. I forget. If you're here, I'm sorry. I forget your name. Please let me know it right now. There's so many things running around in my brain. But Grass is part of DePIN, where I have a computer and I search things on the internet, and I go around the internet all the time. And through my lens of the internet, I am gathering data, which then I can sell to train AI models. So you guys know BitTensor likely, right? Ticker symbol TAO, Tau. BitTensor is an AI, a large language model, which is trained based off of the data that Grass collects from me searching the internet. You just plug in the extension, and then it's like a middleman that just sifts through the data that you get coming in. It actually takes less permissions than MetaMask. So you give up more of your privacy when signing up for MetaMask and installing MetaMask than you do when Grass. MetaMask sees more than Grass does, just to give you that little confidence boost. You can go watch this video if you want to, and it'll give you a little bit more information on that, but I'm collecting Grass as much as I can. I don't want to click on it because it shows my IP, and I forgot. Love that screenshot of you. I feel like I look like a goon right now. But why are we bearish on the ETF now? People are just ridiculous with the ETF. I can explain my rationale, but I've been saying the same. I've been beating the drum saying the same thing about the ETF consistently for the last like 3 months. All right, and then just all of a sudden, I've been getting clowned on it for consistently about saying these things because the narrative was up only. Now all of a sudden, some other influencers come out saying, "Hey, there is a possibility that we go down after that." And I'm like, "You motherfucker!" Now everyone is talking about it. Everyone is like, "Oh, it's cool to be bearish on it." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks for waking up finally. Thanks for actually like waking up for a second and understanding what it actually means to have an ETF." Okay. ETF long term. Yeah, Josh, I don't know that Josh is totally flipped, but I think that Hit Network has kind of infiltrated his brain a little bit, and he's low-key flipped for short-term bearish. Nobody with a brain is denying that long-term, having an ETF is extremely bullish, right? That's obvious, because it opens the door to hundreds of billions of dollars coming in. Yeah, that's extremely obvious that long-term an ETF for Bitcoin is very, very bullish. It lowers the barrier of entry. It allows for large institutions to come in. All that stuff that we all know, that narrative that we all know. Short-term, the ETF is bearish. Short-term, the ETF is bearish. Two things that you really need to understand. Well, three things that you need to understand, okay? In the world of the stock market, anytime a product or service gets launched onto the market, it is an exit liquidity event. The stock market is here to provide liquidity for large companies, okay? When a company IPOs, it's an exit event for insiders. It's a liquidation event, all right? They're literally hunting for exit liquidity. That's what the stock market was created to do, was to provide liquidity to the insiders. So when new products launch, it's a moment for people who got in early to get out. So when an ETF launches, those people who've been accumulating Bitcoin over the last 3 years or whatever, 2 years, since it crashed, since FTX went under, those people now have liquidity to get out of their positions. Number one. Number two, there is a litany of people on Wall Street who don't understand that crypto is a financial instrument. They think it's rat poison. They think it's a giant Ponzi. They think it's greater fool's theory, where it only has value because someone else is willing to buy it from you for a higher value, despite not being able to understand that so is the stock market. You only buy a stock hoping it goes up so you can sell it to someone else for a higher price than you paid. But whatever. There's a lot of bears on Wall Street who want to short Bitcoin. The ETF opens the door for them to short Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been rocketing up. Bitcoin has been rallying aggressively for the last year and a half. Guys, over the last 420 days, Bitcoin is up 182%. There's a lot of people seeing that, thinking it's going to go to zero anyways, who are going to pile into shorting that ETF. Immediately upon launch, not upon news that it got approved, okay? Not upon news that it got approved, but upon launch of the actual ETF, Bitcoin is going to plummet. And then we'll build out support, and then we'll continue on. That plummet is going to be a massive buying opportunity. That pullback, that crash that we have, it might be, who knows how big it's going to be, right? Truthfully, like, we could see the ETF get approved, we spike up to 50,000, and then it hits the market, and we pull back down to like 35,000 or something like that. We have a 40 to 50% correction from 50,000, and we see 30 to 25,000. That's not unheard of for Bitcoin. Bitcoin crashes 50% regularly, like very, very regularly. I even just saw a video from Ben Cohen saying that this has been like the longest period of time that Bitcoin has gone without a large scale correction. Okay, so it's coming. We just don't know how much higher it's going to go before it comes, right? That makes sense. Am I tripping, guys? Does that all make sense to you guys? Am I the one tripping, Goku Batman? Am I the one tripping? Josh made a bet of, I think, 2 G's at a 6-1 that it won't go through. Yeah, I made that bet as well, Johnny. I'll explain that entirely if you guys are interested. It's on Polymarkets. It's on Polymarkets. I also made that bet. It's not going to happen, and I'm not trying to be negative. They're stringing you guys along. What, the approval? The approval is going to happen. It's just a matter of, does it happen now? Does it happen at the end of the year? Does it happen next year? The approval will happen. It's just a matter of when it will happen. Social Security is in fact a Ponzi. However, if you look it up, Dream, if you look up Social Security and compare Social Security to a Ponzi scheme, you will find that there is one distinct difference between the two. Okay? This is what the government has made official that classifies a Ponzi scheme from a financial instrument. Okay? You ready for this? Get your notepads out. I'll give you a second. Get your notepads. Where's mine? I'll write it on this Bahamian dollar, since it's worth pretty much nothing. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually worth the same as a dollar. But you ready? The difference is that the government runs it. That's genuinely the whole difference. That's the only difference that exists on it, is that the government runs Social Security. Thus, it's not a Ponzi because they tell you that they will back it. But if somebody else runs it who's not the government, then it is a Ponzi. And that is explicitly, if you bring the two up and make a comparison chart, that's the only difference. Oh God. I love this. I love this. Wait. You're going to distract me from an entry point. All right. Look at that. I think this is a good entry point right here, actually. Somebody asked how my $100 to $10,000 challenge is going. Liking the TA. Hope your channel blows up. Let's go. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. So, a little synopsis from what happened. I'm going to pretend to enter this trade and I'll explain why in a second. So, we're pretending that I just got in right there. The risk to reward is already actually drawn out on this, so hopefully we can make that 0.5%. 100 turned into 1,000. I had a series of bad trades which brought it down to 500, and then I got drunk and traded and lost the entire 500. So I no longer have a $100 to $10,000 account. I'm waiting patiently to restart it because I'm still mad at myself for having done that. However, the $500 to $50,000 account is doing wonderful. The $500 to $50,000 account it hit 2,000 the other day, like literally yesterday. And then we've had a big size pullback. but we're at 1877. And so the reason that I bet on Polymarkets that the ETF would not get approved is because I believe if the ETF doesn't get approved, then the price of all of crypto, the price of Bitcoin's probably going to go down a little bit, right? If the ETF does not get approved, we're probably going to go through a dip, which means my portfolio is going to go down in price. And while I don't really want to sell anything from the portfolio right now, but I want to hedge myself in that event, I decided to wager $260 that the ETF would not get approved. Now, if it does not get approved, the portfolio goes down, I win the bet of 5-to-1 odds. And so I make 5 times that. I'll make like $1,100. That's beautiful. That's a hedge. That's how you hedge your portfolio, right? If it does get approved, I lose $260, but my portfolios go up because the price is probably going to go up. And so that hedge negates itself, and hopefully my portfolio goes up more than what I lost from that bet, right? So that's how hedging works. That's why options exist on the stock market, believe it or not. It's explicitly just to hedge price action. Options have become a speculative derivative where you can gamble, but initially they were created to hedge portfolios and hedge companies buying commodities. Or put it in the cord, send the link. I put a screenshot from Polymarket in the cord, actually, if you want to go look at that stuff. I put it there on Polymarket. Polymarket.com. You do need a VPN, but it's right here. $1.6 million has been bet. It doesn't make sense to me that the odds are so in favor of that. You have to use a VPN. You can copy it. If you're gonna do this, okay, if you're going to participate like me and Josh and Lucas on hedging our portfolios like that, make sure that you hedge appropriately. Do out some math. Make some assumptions. If the ETF doesn't get approved, do you think Bitcoin's going to fall 15, 20%? Figure out how much your portfolio is going to fall by and make it so that the payout of your hedge equals or is close to equaling how much your portfolio would be expected to fall from, right? Expected to fall by. You come up with your own percentages and run your own little mini equations to make sure the hedge fits your portfolio size. Okay? If you think that the ETF's not going to get approved, or that the ETF does get approved, and you think your portfolio is going to run by like 5% or something like that, 5, 10, 15%, make sure that the amount that you wager does not exceed how much you think your portfolio is going to run. What it do, my man? What's good? What's good? Be responsible. I'm not sharing that Polymarket thing for you to be able to bet. I'm sharing for hedge. This is portfolio educational theory management. I don't know. Come up with your own words. All right, so the reason I'm pretending to take this trade, I'm pretending that I have the $500 back and I wasn't an idiot. I will refund it eventually, but not right now, not while I'm still fuming. So for Fitness Friday purposes, I'm going to act as if I entered into this trade on 20x leverage with $500, so a $10,000 trade. If we go up to this, right, entered here, we come up to the 0.57, that's $50 made. So I'll do my 50 push-ups. Cool? Hopefully that's a fair enough trade. I need to work out mentally to get back into the portfolio challenge. It's just irritating. I can't be trusted, guys. I cannot be trusted. You mean this DeSci and CoinGecko? Which I will be making a video on for YouTube probably right after this live stream? You mean this article? Huh? Humbled? Huh? Oh yeah. We're early, baby. We are early. You already know. Let's go. I feel short in my little box right now. Let me raise my screen up a little. Here we go. Now, I want you guys to partake in Fitness Friday as well. Okay? like I was going on the rant in the very beginning, and again, if you enjoy this kind of information, if you end up taking that Polymarket bet, make sure that before you do any of that, you like the live stream. We got 10 likes and 11 viewers, so I'll accept that. Make sure you like the live stream, okay? It's important to me that you guys show me the support in liking that live stream. So hit that button, subscribe, do whatever it takes to make sure you're here for this alpha. Why am I so passionate about making money and staying fit? It's two things here that I want to showcase to you guys. The first thing is, how long will $1 million in retirement savings last the average American right now? Okay, so this is right now. This is the average American. How long will $1 million last you? Well, it very much so depends on where you're going to be living, right? If you live in California, it's expected that it's only going to last you about 13.8 years. Okay, that's not that bad. $1 million, 13, 14 years in one of the most expensive states. Not that bad. That's on average, so you can't live in a city, but you live in a rural area of California. It's not the best, right? Hopefully you can retire for more than a decade. Hopefully you can retire for like 2 decades, especially if you're in your 30s, 40s, or 20s. Hopefully, if you can retire in your 30s, you get to live longer than 13 years, you know? In Florida, the state that I'm in, you get 18.3 years. So it gives you a little bit more time, but still, $1 million on average is not going to be even remotely enough to retire for an extended period of time. If I retire when I'm 30 and I expect to live very long, I'm not going to be able to do it on $1 million. It does 100% depend on your lifestyle. 100% depend on your lifestyle and where you live. But these are just average numbers. Speaking of average numbers, nobody even has $1 million. Okay? Most people don't even have $1 million. Which means, let's say you want to retire at the age that they allow you to retire at, which is 70, okay? And you have $500,000. That means you theoretically probably only get to live for about half these times. So I'm in Florida again. So if I retire at 70, I only got 9 years. That's shit. That's bad. That's terrible, right? So we got to fix that. We got to fix the money problem. Hopefully, if you're in crypto, $1 million is going to be a joke, right? Everyone in this live stream right now should have more than $1 million by the end of the 2025 bull market. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Everyone in this live stream right now should have more than $1 million if you play your cards correctly, assuming that you have an income and are understanding what's going on, right? You should be able to get more than $1 million during this bull market. But nonetheless, most people don't. Most people don't even come anywhere close to it. And it's kind of scary because you look at this and think, I'm 70, I worked my entire life, I have $500,000, and I can live until I'm 79 before I have to get a job again. Humans are living longer and longer and longer. It's expected right now that a person who's going to live to be 150 years old has already been born. Okay? Like, our lifespans are rapidly increasing. This is in part due to genetics, due to our understanding of the human genome, right? We're coming close to a consensus that states that death is not an inevitability for everyone. Death is something that science could possibly cure. Death comes from disease and illness, sicknesses that we could theoretically get rid of. Definitely not in our lifetimes. I'm sorry to say it, although I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably relieved to hear that. But like, we're still gonna die. But in the next 500 years or so, we probably will have humans that don't need to die, okay? But that's like irrelevant right now. That's just to set the precedent that, hey, living to be 150 years old might sound ludicrous right now, but over the next 50 years, I think you're going to be shocked to see how many people are starting to live into their mid 100s. I think you're going to be shocked to see, if you're in your 20s or 30s right now, that people you know might live well over 100 years old. Hopefully, you and I live to be over 100 years old, which means if you saved up $1 million and you go to retire at 70 and you only get to live until you're 90, you're going to be going back to work at the age of 90, if you assume that you could live a little bit longer. Like me personally, I was born in 97, sorry. I was born in 97. So that means if I live to be 104 years old, which I think is possible, I will have lived in 3 centuries. That's my big milestone. That's what I want to do drastically. I want that more than I want this coffee in front of me. I don't know what I was going to say something ridiculous, but it was not a true statement. So in order for me to do that, I need to have more than $1 million. And I need to make sure that I'm healthy enough to actually live to be 104, 105 years old, right? I don't want to be just in a state of prolonged dying. So that's why I'm passionate about Fitness Friday. That's why I'm excited for Fitness Friday, okay? Is for stuff like that. It's to be able to make money and live a healthy life. That's it. So as you make more money, you got to do these push-ups with me. That's the only stipulation, okay? The only stipulation with you guys, there's 12 of you in here, is that if you make money in crypto or investing at all, if your money makes money for you, you have to do some form of exercise with me, all right? It's imperative to be one of those investors. You hear? Let me do a poll, all right? I'll do a poll. Get everyone's opinion on this. Do you want to retire early? Start a poll. Yes or no? That's a simple one. I know not everyone wants to live to be 104 years old, but hopefully I know the answer to this poll. Is the Discord free? Yes, it is, Kami. Absolutely it is. It should be, it might not be in the description of this video. Let me see. Where is Patrick? I put it sporadically because I want people to have to work for it, which is probably not the greatest idea. Yeah, it's right. It's in the description right below. It's not gonna be free forever. Yo, chill, homie. What are you doing? It's not gonna be free forever, but it is now. Make a bet on Polymarket. I'm betting 100% of the poll result is yes. Ooh, Kami. You always got trolls out there. Always got trolls out there. Who did this? There's 5 votes, which means one of you guys is probably just already in his 70s and sad that he can't retire early. Am I gonna get cucked on this trade? You stupid little ass. It's funny though, because I have the same emotional attachment to this trade despite not having money in it as I do when I do have money in the trades. I got cucked already. Oh, I'm sorry, Johnny. Yeah, it looks like it might not actually go through. The RSI is looking beautiful though. The RSI is looking like we're due for a reversal. The price action on the chart does not look like we're having a reversal. And then, can you stop clicking that one, Patrick? Where is the... Why'd you come to this twice? The liquidity, though. The liquidity. The liquidity looks like we're about to reverse. The liquidity looks like this is a good trade to be in. All right, good. We got 8 votes. It's been up for 2 minutes. Not 70, but you were 3 when I graduated high school. That's crazy. That's actually not that crazy, MK. We're basically the same age. If we live to be 500 years old, we're pretty much the same age, bro. What's up, bro? I'm Brazilian and I like your content. Keep doing a good job. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. I'm happy. We are spreading, diversifying a little bit. It's probably because David's in here, and David being in the Southern Hemisphere has now put my stream on the home page for people in the Southern Hemisphere. How did you just find the live stream, if I may ask that question? I want to end the poll so I can do another poll, but I also want to leave it up so that everyone can vote on it if they want to. Maybe I should go vote on it. Can I vote on it? No, I can't vote on it. All right, my brain's being scattered. Let's keep scrolling. Let's keep scrolling. It's also part of the reason, the longevity stuff is part of the reason why I'm so bullish on DeSci, is because we have a lot of old rich people who are afraid of dying. And so they're going to funnel their money into stuff that has the hope of making it so that you can live longer, you know? That's just the reality. A lot of people with money tend to be old. Older people tend to be afraid of death. Being afraid of death means you're going to take that money and funnel it into research that might make it so that you don't have to die. And so, therefore, it's the cycle of wealth, because unfortunately you can't curb death just yet. And so they're just going to hand their money over to us because we got into it a little bit earlier than them, which is unfortunate, but it's also just part of the capital markets. Money flows from the impatient to the patient. So if you can be patient, I'm out of the trade. That sucks. God damn it, Bitcoin. The one time I bank on it turning. Dream can't see the poll. Dream, I think you got problems on your phone. Oh, at least we got out though, right? That's the importance of stop losses. At least we had a stop loss, because that would hurt bad, dude. That would hurt bad. Take that 0.38% loss instead of that 0.145, because you know you'd panic sell. You know you'd be panicked during that. Look at Warren eating McDonald's and drinking Coke every day and still living at 93. Yeah, I mean, it's statistically it's very improbable, but it's not impossible to live. You see smokers who just have amazing luck, you know? You see smokers who smoke a pack every single day and just have great luck. Some people just have those good genetics. Warren Buffett, imagine if he had taken care of himself. Like, we don't know how long he's going to live, right? So I don't want to speak ill against the GOAT here, but he's going to die prematurely compared to what he would have died at had he not drank Coke and ate McDonald's every single day. And that's just facts. There's no way around that. He still could live to be like 110, but then if he had taken care of himself, maybe he'd live to be 115. And then it just matters, like, do you care about that? You know? Do you care of shaving off those 5 years or 10 years or whatever it might end up being? Some people don't. Some people want to eat McDonald's versus take care of their body. My grandma said that the cancer was in the filter of the cigarettes, so she'd cut the filters off. That's funny. Ancient text says that the last days, and those days shall men seek death and not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Maybe we will live forever. I think we will. It's just a disease. It's going to be scary, though. It's going to be very dystopian. And then, you ready for this? This little mind fuck? You ready for this part? Okay. If we cure death, big if there. If we cure death, and people can live forever, or until they choose to die, we cannot have capitalism. Capitalism will die with the end of death. Capitalism will die with the death of death. Period. Because imagine, look at what's going on now with our current system. Nobody has money saved up. Nobody has money saved up to retire. Imagine going to Walmart and your greeter at the door is 380 years old. Bruh, you joking? There will be no retirement at all if we don't die, you know? So capitalism goes away when death goes away. There is no way around that. Maybe it doesn't happen immediately. Maybe it takes understanding it. Maybe it takes like someone living to be 500 years old before we finally make that change. So maybe there's 1,000 years left in capitalism, but it's not going to survive. It'll survive through our lifetime. I believe that. And so it sounds stupid when I say it to everyone, because I just think on a time scale that is not comprehensible to most people. And so I understand that it sounds ludicrous when I say capitalism is dying, but it is in fact dying. It just probably won't die in our lifetime. Price prediction for Data Lake. Let's get back onto that not morbid stuff. Expectations for this year. That's a tough one. I have a lot of conflicting POVs from this year's, my expectation this year. I think that we'll probably, if we have a bullish year for crypto, I think that we'll probably see Data Lake approaching like a $100 to $200 million market cap. I think a lot of the explosive gains are going to come in 2025. So this cycle is a better question to ask. And in this cycle, I think Data Lake will be able to approach $1 billion market cap. Approach it, which means that there's roughly a 100x left in it. So we could see a $2 Data Lake. I think a safer bet would to say that we see a $1 Data Lake. 2 cents to $1 is an insane return, you know? So I think we could see that 50x in Data Lake, and that's kind of like where I want to put my baseline so I don't get too excited. I don't want to get too ambitious that I wait for that $2 Data Lake. We only go to $1.30 and then I never sell. You know, I want to make sure that I get some of this money so I can go buy another iPhone. Mushrooms help ease the overwhelming feeling of death for some. Oh, I love psychedelics. I am a huge advocate of psychedelics when done appropriately. I used to microdose on shrooms. So microdosing is not what most people think it is. Just like we talk about how DCAing is not what most people think it is. Microdosing isn't either. You should not feel any effect when you take the microdose. You should not feel like you're high in the slightest. You should be just getting a little bit. I'm saying you take like 0.1 to 0.15 grams of a shrooms. That's what I did at least. And you should not feel like you're high in the slightest. You should just be altering your brain chemistry a little bit, because what psilocybin does is actually help with the neural networks in your brain. So they help make ones that you use stronger, and they help trim ones that you don't use. So if you are out there being sad and negative and smoking and drinking and taking psychedelics, then you're going to reaffirm a poor neural network in your brain. But if you're out there looking at the butterflies and helping people and being kind and smiling all the time and just being happy, and you're taking small amounts of psilocybin, and it also works for pretty much all psychedelics, but I'm just talking about my experience with psilocybin, then you rebuild and you reaffirm that neural network that is happy. So you got to be careful with it. So handfuls in the wrong day and doing it at night. Yeah, handfuls is definitely, I mean, it's not the wrong way, it's just not the way to microdose. You can do megadoses if you want to. Oh man, I think, is it legal in the States, in any of the states? I think Colorado is legal, right? Don't look at my spelling. Yeah, there we go. Denver in 2019 decriminalized it. So let me turn my VPN on and go to Denver so that I'm in Denver and I can talk about it more freely. I don't think it's going to be decriminalized here in Florida anytime soon. I mean, over in Florida anytime soon. Oregon is playing with it for medical use. Yeah, it's actually one of the stupidest things in the world that it got criminalized. There's never been a recorded death in the history of the entire world directly from psychedelics. Weed is a psychedelic. Did you know that? There's never been a recorded death directly from it. Sometimes you might take a psychedelic and jump off a cliff because you're tripping a little bit, but that's not the psychedelic killing you. That's like your trip killing you. There's a clear distinction there physiologically. If you do them in an appropriate way and don't go to that cliff, you won't do that, you know? So there's never been an overdose, I think is a better way to say it. Well, an overdose that kills you. How did we get on psychedelics? That was a weird rabbit hole. I mean, I'm down to continue talking about it, but I know people come for these trades. What's Aptos looking like? Aptos looks somewhat strong, but at the same time, it's kind of getting rejected. And it looks like on a shorter time frame, it's starting to get rejected. Have a look at him. Dirk Druthers. That's funny. I have more hair than you could ever wish for. You see this? More hair than you could ever wish for. It's alright though. You want to know why? You want to know why it's okay? Let me direct you to my friends over at Hair Dow. If you want hair like mine, you might want to look into Hair Dow, because they're looking to help cure baldness. So I know you're probably suffering from baldness. Maybe you can rub it on. Alright, chill. I showed my sister a video where Jordan Peterson said the 2 ways that we are known for rewiring the brain is hallucinations and strong religious experiences. You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. Googled possession of... Oh, let's go. Brazil's the move, I guess. I need to get my mom hallucinations. Oh god, we gotta get to Brazil. Dirk, trim the sack. That's long. Oh god, Dirk, you just exposed yourself on a live stream. Exposed yourself like a fool. You could have picked so many things to try and dunk on me for. I literally just took a fake trade because I liquidated my trading account, and the fake trade went against me, and I got liquidated on the fake trade. You could have chose that to try and make fun of me on, but you chose, in my opinion, my best feature to try and dunk on me for. And that was an L, bruh. That was just an L. There were so many things that you could make fun of, and you chose just to... Ooh. That's alright. You're welcome. You're welcome to be here, my friend. You're welcome to be here. Just make sure that you hit that like button as you come through the live stream. Let's go. 11 likes, 11 people. I love you guys. Fitness Friday. Fitness Friday, folks. Unfortunately, I did not make any money trading today, but I'm still going to post a video of doing some sort of workout on X because I want to actually get Fitness Friday going. I highly encourage you guys to go over to my X and try and spot that video and like retweet it, post your own video, post something to showcase Fitness Friday, because I would actually like for this to become something larger than what it is right now. It's really just like me and like the 10 of you guys chilling doing it. So if you guys like this, which I know you do because you're chilling with me for an hour straight as I just ramble on about living into 200 years old, the Solana phone, cryptocurrency, decentralized science, Bitcoin crashing, the spot ETF, all this excitement stuff that's going on right now. Crypto is here. Crypto's back. Crypto's alive. It never even went away. We're just having a good time and we're starting to make money. I hope that you guys had a good time. Your time is your most valuable asset. So hopefully this was worth investing it into. I will see you guys in the next video and in the Discord.